For making sense, please. Please, a round of applause if I get sense to it just now. Thank you. So it's a serious business we are here for, and we're not going to joke about it. As well, to help to amplify that business, that serious business for us, with the second person to give us a lecture on the topic will be, excuse me. We have Engineer Rashid Adebuli Hassan. Can you be upstanding, please? Thank you. Look at I read the citation. Engineer Rashid Adebuli Hassan is the founder and managing director of RSN Services Limited, an engineering services company with operations across Africa. He studied civil engineering at Yaba College of Technology and had his postgraduate from Federal University of Technology at Akure. He also had Master of Business Administration MBA from Lagos State University, a project management professional PhD, and a respected professional in the telecommunications industry when it comes to civil, structural engineering matters. He started his professional career as an intern with Constein Limited and was deployed to assist on Ikola Bridge construction along Command Road in Kwara, Lagos in 1997. He had his privilege with structural design consultant, LCC, now consultant collaborative partnership CCP, and thereafter moved to the telecommunications industry. He worked with corporate telecoms engineering, Locotel, and briefly with UAC Nigeria, Mr. Big's division. As a project engineer before joining the telecommunications client Huawei Technologies. At Huawei Technologies between 2005 and 2011, he was saddled with huge responsibilities including leading the biggest projects being implemented in the West African region and worked on over 3,000 cell sites in all. Among these projects are project monitoring and control PLC, a project management model for Airtel Turnkey network rollout in which a third party will manage network rollout by sales vendors on behalf of customer Airtel end-to-end. The model increased Airtel's base station from 3,000 to over 4,000 in a short time. Globacom's network expansion in Nigeria, Ghana, and Benin Republic, including core network, radio frequency RF, planning and implementation base, transceiver station BTS, microwave transmission planning and implementation, DWDM transmission of over 1,300 sites, and fiber optics network across Nigeria. Globacom's first set of 3G network deployments in Abuja, Enugu, Kano, Kaduna, and Zaria. The first set of V-Mobile cell sites at BAC in Northwest region, Nigeria. He has attended training seminars and conferences in Nigeria and abroad. Please a round of applause for him. This is telecommunications Nigeria standing before you. Please, we are ready to hear your lecture, sir. Please a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here this afternoon, and I'm so happy that I'm privileged to, stand before my elders and seniors in the profession. I greet you all, sir. The reason why we are here, well, I also want to stand on the existing protocol, like my former speakers, like they did. I am among the few people that are privileged, to drink from the ocean of knowledge of engineer H.U.D. Awad. I want to publicly thank you for the opportunity, sir, once again. I did my intern with his firm, Constein Construction Engineers Limited, as a while I was still in school. He didn't know me, but I always sit or stand by one corner of the project site whenever I came around to be watching him very closely, and I learned a lot from him, sir, which helped my career. The project we were doing there was just maybe, I think, about 50-70 meter long bridge at a corner in Ibadan. But God will always be around at least 3 or 4 times in the week. And you can imagine coming from Ikorodu to Ibadan, how difficult it would be. But we wanted to know exactly what was happening. And that is the nexus, I think, connects the what we are talking about today, the tenacity of the professional to get results, and that is exactly what we project to you. On that project, we were just, of course, we have seniors, about 3 of them. It didn't just put one person on that small project. He put 3 senior engineers, senior people, 1 engineer, 1 surveyor, and a builder. He didn't leave the survey work to the engineers. He was able to separate. He appreciated the role the surveyor will play on a bridge project, and he dedicated a surveyor to that project. He dedicated a builder to that project, then an engineer, and a whole lot of some of us on one single project. And the end result was quality delivery. We thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So that was, at the time I was leaving, after my intern, he said we should put down our experience. And I learned something from that. Everything that we learned on the project, we have to put in a notebook. And we took to him at Ikorodu. He looked through, he made corrections, and he put his current stamp on the notebook. I kept it in my archive, and each time I look at it, I will say, I want to be like this man. And to the glory of God, I think I'm on the right course. So what you appreciate is that. That is my personal experience with him. All the elements of the work on the project, he personally designed. The formwork, he designed. He didn't leave it to chance. Just buy any type of, plank or wood from anywhere. He personally sat down, he designed each and every component of the formwork. And whenever we were working, we would come around, we would stand at a very long distance, look at the alignment, look at this, look at that. And when we would be feeling that when we were done, we were okay, so we say, no. This you must demolish. You have to repeat this one. He will not wait for the ministry engineer to come and condemn. He will be the first to say, no, this cannot fly. He wouldn't mind whatever the cost us to redo the work. That is engineer H.O.B. Lawan. Thank you once again. Now, I'm going to what we needed to do. Actually, people that spoke before me, my seniors, they've spoken about them. But I'll just repeat myself to just 1 or 2 points. That is the quality of our delivery and the knowledge required to give this. In the telecommunication industry where I belong, I will use Huawei Technologies example. Huawei, I want to talk about, not the one, of course, it's part of their product line, the phones that they use, of course. That's the consumer line. I want to talk about the engineering of what they do. Huawei Technologies, as you all know, is a Chinese firm, a very big one for that matter. Over 200 countries, across the world, and they have made their mark. But what are they doing differently? They came to Nigeria, of course. People have started doing the work. I think they came around 2003, 2004, when they actually started making maps. The market somehow was a kind of fed up, but they created a space for themselves. And the professionals in the house should listen to this. When you offer quality products, quality service, there will always be a way for you to penetrate. Huawei came in, they felt, the market, we cannot go through. They came purposely to sell their telecom equipment. They didn't come to do any civil work. But when they noticed that Alcatel, Ericsson, Siemens, Nokia, that they've taken over the market. They found a way around it. You remember the days of ring battle when it first came in? You remember per second billing and per minute billing? Ericsson was the one in charge of MTN and Econet network there, that they said it was impossible to do per second. Then Alcatel came in through Globalcom. They said we can do it, and they did that, and they gave us the per second billing. So when Huawei came in, of course, they had to compete with all these European vendors. And they now look at, if they wanted to compare with them, they had to do something differently. And they went to MTN. Okay, they noticed that a site already built, you will not allow them to put their equipment. They say, we will build search for you. Just give us site, free of charge, we will build. When we build this site, we put our equipment there. When we put the equipment there, then see and fail it. Whatever satisfaction is derived, we determine whether we do business with us. Of course, the rest they say is history. They build free of charge. Where I'm coming is that sometimes you may need to do some things, but deliberately design it. Maybe you may not break even, or the profit margin will be so little to make a statement that indeed this is possible, this we can do. So when they came in, not knowing that what was the name then, as in V-Mobile, they were somewhere watching what they were doing for MTN. And when they noticed that it was successful, they also invited them. Now, what can you do for us? At that time, they were struggling to raise funds to, expand their network, in fact, to build the network. And they came in with Project Rose, rollout service everywhere. And Huawei offered to build the sites for them. To start with 300 sites. You pay, or you start paying when this site starts giving you revenue. When people start making calls and get revenue, then you pay us. Then you offer to maintain the site for you free of charge for 2 years. And every other thing, anything you want again, you can give us. So immediately they switch over to Huawei technologies. And their technology was user-friendly. For example, some of the things they were doing then, Ericsson was using DOS, this operating system. But when they came in, they introduced Windows, so that it was easy to train, technicians, artisans to know how to operate some of this equipment, and that gave them an edge in the industry. So when you sit down and say this Chinese, what are they offering? I dare to disagree with you. It depends on the industry. They give quality stuff. Except you want to tell me that when you make call, there's a kind of thing that you notice that you say it is traceable to Huawei equipment, or it is because it is a Huawei equipment, that is why the network is poor. No, if it is poor, it will be due to other reasons, maybe congestion, maybe weather, or so many other things. But when it comes to the equipment, they gave a run to the established, vendors, the Ericssons of this world, the Alcatel, Nokia, Siemens, and a host of them. But today, why was able to displace all these guys? Because of the superior quality that they brought to the market. And what was the secret? All these things, both civil, transmission, radio frequency, all those. They have perfected all these things in Chinese language. All they will do is when they come to your country, if it is Nigeria, we speak English, they translate to English. They go to Francophone, they translate to French. And they have people dedicated solely for research and development every day. Huawei has a university for research and just to research and improve on the things that they offer to the world. And that's why they are able to penetrate the entire world. Now coming home to what we do. Some of these lessons, how do they relate to what we are saying? The space is already occupied by Julius Berger and all these and all those other people. We wanted to penetrate. On that then, his area of expertise that I know was bridge construction. After when General Bubamara came to commission that project, he was asking, the logo, C, on the soft constant. He thought it was maybe one foreign. He was asking, he said, no, it's an indigenous company. He said, wow. And I learned, because we were young then, that as a result of that, he personally said that, just like Mother was saying, give another project to this man. And that was what brought about between K2 and Ikorodu 6 projects, 6 bridges. 6 bridges, 3 to Julius Berger, 3 to Constance, our guy here. So we were able to compete with Julius Berger. And when you are going on that road, you will not say this one was done by Constance, this one was done by Julius Berger. It's the same experience when you drive through, 98, 99, sir. So we were learning from him, and that we can actually give a run to those white guys. I coupled with my own experience with Huawei when I was there. I was, privileged to be saddled with a lot of big projects, Some of these things I was talking about. Like when 3G started in 2008, 2009, I was in charge then for deployment of 3G across the country. And 4G, of course, as far back as that time, we were test running 4G already, that was just deployed recently. The 5G that everybody is making noise about now, while we are left it behind, they are already test running 6G. Yes. And that's why the Americans and Europe will be making noise, because they are already ahead of them. It's who gets to the market first that will take the market. So that is the way they work. So when in 2010, Airtel inherited what was the name then? Zain. Airtel bought from Zain. The network was a kind of choked because of transition from this one to that one. The network wasn't growing like Globalcom and MTN. So they wanted to do a lot of sites, over 2,000 within a very short time, so that they can expand the network. A lot of civil engineering works. They needed to get towers to the country. We needed a lot of people to be on different sites at the same time. Like Madam was saying, it's not possible for you to be everywhere. So we needed to leverage on technology. So you have to be maybe in Lagos and Abuja and monitor all these things. So I was privileged to be chosen then to lead this project, not knowing that what I was doing then will become business for me or for my friend at the end of the day. So when in 2015, American Towers Corporation, they bought the network. We have in the telecoms, we have the passive infrastructure, then we have the active. Active are those equipment that process the cost. The passive is the civil works, the tower, and the power. So they ceded that part because they couldn't continue with managing just one site, just for one network. So they came up with the colocation option. That okay, this one side, MTN will be there, Airtel will be there, Livingston will be there. We'll be using the same tower, we put our antennas, we'll be using the same power source that was being utilized, so that it will be cost effective. And that created a challenge. That the towers in the network were already carrying some antennas. So putting additional antennas on this tower became a structural challenge. So because of the transition over the years, no drawings, no documents to trace exactly what the capacity of these towers were, the type of foundation deployed, and they needed to now do what we call tower mapping. You map the tower from beginning to the end. Every element, the compression members, the tension members, the bolts, the nuts, the connectors, everything. You have to extract all this information. Use the information to now model the tower. When you model the tower, you now analyze. After the analysis, whatever you get, you design. You now put the design side by side by what is existing on the site. If it is fit, then you continue. If it has extra capacity to carry some load, you put. If it doesn't have, then you have to do tower strengthening. So the tower strengthening also poses another challenge, because you are adding more members. Adding more members has added to the load. So the foundation already there, is it sufficient to carry? You need to also do foundation mapping to know what is down there. So all these works, everybody was running, enter theater, how are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? And the Americans are saying, if we cannot find Nigerians that can do this, then we call our partners from the US or from South Africa to come and do this. I was challenged that this is my country. So if this is taken out, so where will be my face? Where will my face be? And I'm in this industry. Whatever it takes, this has to be done somehow. And I think to come the challenge, of course, after rigorous pre-qualification process, to the glory of God, were among the people, pre-qualified. About 20 of us, and we started. They gave us 25 days to do whatever we can do. After like 2 months, we were just like 4 on the project. Everybody was running with. But no big money, but a lot of work. But personally, I was challenged as a Nigerian civil structural engineer that we must make a statement that you cannot take this to, you can't give this to the expatriates. And some of the things I learned, while I was in Huawei, we put all this together. And we were able to gradually, we did a lot of research, to demystify this thing. And to the glory of God, we were able to deliver. And they were so impressed. They were so good that there are some Nigerians that can do this. They were impressed. And they gave us more. And they gave us more. And they gave us more. Today, we also recommended to some other African countries where they were still lacking the capacity. So, if we do it right in Nigeria, the whole of Africa is actually our market. From my interaction with those people, they were looking up to Nigeria to give a direction, to take, charge of our continent. These people, whenever they saw us, every time I moved there, Nigerians, they wanted to learn. They believed we knew better than they did, And actually, from the little we could do, I noticed that they are still far behind in telecom infrastructure provision where we operate. So they just extended the contract. Kenya, Uganda, South Africa. I don't need to go there. We just sit here, maybe just send somebody to go and do the survey on the site, get the data, send to us, we put in the system here, we analyze, we send the output to them. And our money comes in, cool money, right? So, this is what we can do as Nigerians. This is who we are. And I believe that where the professionals are, like my elders have spoken, of course we will make the difference wherever we are. And in the mainstream construction industry, we have my organ here that made his mark. But how many people are following his footsteps? That is the question we ask ourselves. Have we not left the passion for the profession, passion for quality delivery, for just quick money? But that's where the challenge is. If I'm invited for a project, if I know I do not have the competence, I talk to a friend. I call my elders when I'm challenged sometimes. I still call them to give me, I go to their office. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what we want to be, but this is where we are. And there are abundance of experience that we have. It might not be directly related to telecoms, but still engineering. Why not try this? Why not try this? It will work. But how many of us are tapping, into this? Some of us, it's just a quick money. We don't want to be. So, I would say the things we are lacking are the basic things that we need actually to go back to. And now I'll be speaking to the younger generation. The profession, we have the elders, we have the fathers, on whose shoulder we can stand and will become giants. And the world will say, yes, Nigeria has actually arrived. Most of our graduates today, like Madam was saying, the jobs are there. Only that most of our graduates, they are being trained or educated for jobs that do not exist anymore. The inspector she was talking about, it won't be a child's play. To stick your neck, your integrity, your stamp and your seal that this thing will stay. It's not a child's play. It's a lot of work to be able to do that. So, but our graduates prepared for such. No, if they are not prepared, are they making efforts? To prepare themselves to be able to do such? in my opinion, because I engage them time and again, interview, sometimes I have to send some people out of my office that I said you read civil engineering. I'm sorry, I don't think you read civil engineering. Please, out of my office. But they will be completely out of the ordinary things. So, if you still want to practice this profession, and you don't want our profession to be dragged into the mud, let's say Nigerian engineers, don't mind them. If you feel personally insulted when somebody says that, then what to offer again? You need adequate knowledge. If you don't have superior knowledge, at least adequate knowledge to be able to navigate, because engineering is not a child's play. If you want big money, if you want to, how do you say it? If you want to happen, like Dangote, like Otedola, sorry, you are in the wrong profession. You are in the wrong profession. You can be rich, maybe reasonably or comfortably, but big money is what we are talking about, then maybe you need another profession. But this is a profession for serious-minded people. So, I want to invite you to develop your skills, the soft skills, in IT, in all those apps and software that can help you to do your work better. Then project management, methodology, and tools that will help your work. You need some sort of business skills to be able to package yourself properly. Then you need to know a little of the legal issues, so that I don't want to go into it, but if you want to resign from a job, there's a process that you have to follow. It's not just that just write a letter. The letter must get to some places, and there must be appointments. But I guess somebody started that process. I'm not here to say it was right or not, but I guess it didn't complete the process. But that's left for the people that will investigate to do. So you need to actually know that you are entering a contract and agreement to know the implication. When things go wrong, how are you protected? So you need to also know that. So if you do all this, plus what the others who have spoken, what they have told us, then it will be easier for you to actually be ready. That the question the PNC asked the other day, are we ready? Then you will say that you are ready to take up the opportunity presented by the national content. Thank you for your time.
Give a round of applause for him again, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. He has just buttressed what we've heard, but from another angle. And he has again drawn our attention to the giant that is here seated with us today. I mean, he has spoken about virtually, he's like a roadmap for Nigerian telecom infrastructure. And that's huge. That's huge. And he's a baby of our giant here. Please, another round of applause. So, while we were at that, we had more people come. We have, please, when I call people upstanding for recognition. Dr. A. Ajayi. Dr. A. Ajayi, please, a round of applause for him. Lion Olajide R. Ogunshala. Olajide Ogunshala. Is it here? Thank you very much. Wow. Immediate past chairman of the Lagos State 9th chapter, Engineer Emeka Ite. Is he here, please? A round of applause for him. A round of applause for him. Wow, thank you very much. And we have Rotimi T. Kasim. Rotimi T. Kasim is here. Please, a round of applause for him here. This is another wow. Because this person I'm going to call, I've actually listened to him severally, and I'm like, wow, he is good. He is good, and he's great. Please, ladies and gentlemen, as he stands up to be recognized, please, a round of applause for Engineer Tokunbo Adamaku, National Vice Chairman. Thank you very much. We're glad to have you here. God bless you. Thank you. Well, the next item on the agenda is certificate. Recognition, certificate of appreciation to our speakers and our guests. And to do that is our chairman, Lagos State Chapter, Engineer Lawale Balariwa. Please a round of applause for him. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Well, I'm enjoying the program and I wish it won't end, but that is impossible. Now, it's time for us to appreciate our speakers, and I'm going to call on our PNC, Engineer Olatunji, to come and present a certificate of appreciation to our special guest of honor for honoring us and for sharing her knowledge with us for what she has taught us today. Oh, please, ma'am.
We really appreciate you. In fact, there's no program of night that is important that you have not been number one choice. Because, not just because you are special advisor, there have been many special advisors in the government. It's just because you have so much passion, you have so much ideas, and you lead by example. So we want to really appreciate you and commend you for always sharing your knowledge with us on this occasion where we have discussed the national content policies in the construction industry, strategies for optimal development for engineering professionals, for which my president ESC has also added. We are there, we will really be ready to move. Yes, the professionals must come together. If that is the last assignment that we do, I'm ready. And I want to see that the night takes its rightful position, because institution of civil engineers all over the world, whether in America, whether in Britain, in any way in the world, they are the leaders, because all others take from civil engineering as a core profession. And that's what you are doing for us, and that is what we are seeing, and that's what we will do after this decision. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, sir, our PNC. And thank you, madam, for honoring us. So for the next one, our PNC too, Engineer Gowifri is the keynote speaker. And I want to take the honor of inviting somebody, Engineer Shola George. Please, can you come and present the certificate to Engineer Gowifri?
All protocol observed. I am most honored to stand before you, sir. So, on behalf of the people gathered here and the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, to present this certificate of honor in appreciation of the wonderful lecture you gave and the various information and advice that were rendered in the lecture. We are very appreciative. We have noted that you have always contributed to the development of civil engineering in Nigeria. We pray that you continue in that regard. May God continue to help you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay.
Can you move to this side?
Okay. This way. Thank you.
sir.
Thank you very much, Engineer Sulajo. And thank you, Engineer Owibi, for that very good lecture. And now for the speaker, I would like to invite Professor Akomu to come and present the certificate of appreciation to Engineer Rashid Hassan.
Thank you so very much. Like other people who have spoken, I think I'm privileged to be here. Each of you, I must say thank you. Why am I thanking him before I do certificates? The big man before me said, you train him as an intern. Nilawa, you are in the hall. Can you please rise? Thank you, sit down. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to give certificates. When he came, he said, let me come and greet my teacher. I said, I'm not your teacher, you're my boss. Thank you. Just Nigerian Student of Civil Engineers, Lagos chapter. In appreciation of what you've done today, actually to promote the institution, to promote our giants, Daitobi Lawa, whose name we actually having this lecture. I will tell you sincerely, it's a privilege to have worked with him. I work with him until today. I don't think there's anything that can be that bridge that will be between me and him. He's here. We may not speak for the next 10 years, but he knows we stand by what is right and we defend it the last. If it's for money, no. But for that quality which you promote this afternoon again, integrity that we're actually looking for, I want to congratulate you again for speaking to this speaker. On behalf of NICE, General Rashid Hassan, thank you for sharing the knowledge to our guest speaker in this program. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, I'd like to call on the MC to come and move to the next program.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. The next program is actually about the program we've been running. The next item, really. Because from the powerful lectures and, special discussions today, I'm sure a lot of people have been inspired and their experience have been shared out, and everybody wants to ask questions. In fact, this is the opportunity we have at this point. So, questions, comments about what we've heard so far? Or name and
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just to make it simple. Yes, we have Autisla Shiboya name, and I'm a civil engineer. So we have listened to all these lectures we have given, and what I noticed is this question of opportunities for Nigerian engineers. That is what do you call it now? The thing the president signed.
The content law, local content law.
The local content law. Yes, that's what I want to comment. And what my own comment is that, do these people you mean this thing for? This is what it's meant for. This is Nigerian engineers. Are they aware of it? That's my number one point. Are they aware that these jobs are available to them or not? I know the federal government has a federal government journal where they advertise the jobs and everything. I don't think the state government does this. State governments, they just invite some people for tender for their jobs, and normally when you do that, you go to the politicians. That's we don't have to deceive ourselves. We go to politicians now. And once you don't have politics, how do you get this? That's the problem. People are available, they want jobs. How do they go about it? How do they get contacted to get to the appropriate ministries with jobs? But I know, for instance, sometime in Lagos, I don't know what happens now. They just let some people go to tender for the job. And they will arrange within themselves anyway. The person who is going to get it, he knows he's going to get it. Maybe he has to bring in 2 other contractors, tender, and they are just manipulate the thing, and this goes in. I don't know what happens now. I'm talking because I'm an expired engineer. I don't know what happens now. So I know this is an opportunity, but once people don't have the money to get to where these jobs are, so I don't know what is going on. What is the special advisor is here? Maybe advise us, tell us how people can really get to know that these jobs are available. So that is
All right. Thank you, sir. I'm sure before she answers, I can please say 1 or 2 things. I know that because she's there, all those feelings that you raised, that you faced, have been phased out. Correct. And secondly, now she may need you to work with her. Yes, she may need you to work with her. Work with her. You are not expired. You've experienced. Now, to work with her, to straighten it all out. A Korean crash is a big wake-up call. We cannot all afford anymore, any longer, to just sit lethargically. I think you should answer that quickly now.
Thank you, Engineer Shikoya. You actually said it out of my mouth. You feel you're expired, you're not expired.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just joking.
Engineering practice. With practice, you get better.
Yeah,
so when you say that you're expired, I really do not.
I'm not expired.
And so when you say, I said something, I said prophetically, I see the jobs, I see them. Only that I do not know maybe the engineers in this institution, they see the jobs that I see.
Sorry, engineer, that's since graduate of Lagos, civil engineering. So
that's what he said. So
that's why he said.
Just some few years after I was born, he graduated. So I'm actually yes, but I don't think he's expired. So one of the things that I said the COE experience presents a good opportunity for us. No longer should we have such events happen in our clan. It's the experience of mature people like you that we need in the area of supervision in your locality. Because even if you think that it is strenuous for you to undergo design, you can at least within the confines, within that local government area, you can apply to be a licensed inspector. A licensed inspector where you are covering insurance, you're going to have, of course, you have to get insurance to be able to indemnify the government to say, yes, everything that I certify here as a state inspector, it's true, it represents a true situation of the event, and then you put your signature to it. It's those kind of experience that we have find lacking, and that's why we have all of the systems happening. When the love of money begins to override so many things, you also will get this kind of things. It's as simple as that. So, to your question, you said, what happens? Procurement, the Lagos State government has tried to reform the procurement laws. A year and 4 months ago, the World Bank people actually came to my minister, and I think Engineer Adedoku is here. Engineer Adedoku, if you are here, please be upstanding. Yes. I saw it, yes. So please correct me if I'm wrong. I think the guys from World Bank came to the ministry about 16 months ago, and they wanted to start a pilot thing that they wanted Lagos State to do. Only a month ago, 3 weeks to be precise, my colleagues, the procurement board, they were on a training course in Ethiopia. What are we doing? We know we're not perfect, but we're trying to reform those procurement laws. All of the things that you have said, I'll be in denial if I say they don't exist. I'll be in denial. Anybody would tell you that I'm a blunt person, I say it the way it is. But we cannot continue to believe that that